Detectives pull up to the Scandarito residence, expecting to find clues to a simple disappearance. But what they'll uncover inside is far darker than anyone imagined.
And it's just sort of left my stomach a mess since I heard about it all. I know that his body was found, cut up or something rather.
As a result of our investigation, we have a really good idea of what happened when things happen. And unfortunately, based on the information we have, we know that you're involved 100%.
He thought he could outsmart everyone. But what the detectives will discover instead is his son's horrifying secret.
I just can't imagine a son doing that to his father.
Right.
Or to anyone, as a matter of fact.
On April 1st, 2018, 74-year-old James Skip Scandarito, a former Michigan judge living in Florida, was reported missing by his son Jimmy. But behind that call hid a secret. Jimmy thought he'd pulled off the perfect crime until the spotlight turned right back on him.
As a result of our investigation, we have a really good idea of what happened when things happen. We're just a little concerned about why certain things have happened. But that's why we came up here today, was to kind of let you know that we did in fact find your father. He has been identified inconclusively by the medical examiner's office. Okay, so we're not dealing with some random missing person at this point. And unfortunately, based on the information we have, we know that you're involved 100%. But I want to be able to at least draft in a report, basically, that we met with you today and are able to outline some facts to indicate that you're not the monster that people might think you are just based on the facts of the case. Does that make sense?
I'm not going to say anything. I think I need to have a lawyer, obviously, so.
From the moment they brought him in, James Jr. said almost nothing and asked for a lawyer. Meanwhile, the people closest to his father do the talking for him, telling the evil secret he refuses to tell.
Make yourselves comfortable, gentlemen. Got good chairs? Yeah, we're good, thanks.
Okay, first of all, let me get this out of the way with giving you her.
Yep, no problem. Let me just get your first name.
My name is Bruce, B-R-U-C-E.
I think we spoke on this already.
Yes, and the last name is G-O-O-D-I-N, and I'm Gary's brother.
And a good contact number for you, Bruce?
77.
And this is going to be Stacy?
No, this is going to be Kathy.
C-A-T-H-Y?
Laturno, I think you spell it this way, Laturno. Could be different, it's
Okay.
Italian. And
Now Kathy is going to be who to?
that's his cousin.
Okay. So this is
cousin.
Skippy's cousin.
Yeah, Skip's cousin. And she knows all
Okay.
about.
Where does Kathy live?
Kathy lives right here off of Glades.
Okay. So she lives
west.
in Boca Raton.
Yep. Now,
You
she has Sharon.
Okay.
I don't know what Sharon's last name is, but Sharon is Skip's sister.
Okay, Sharon is Skip's sister.
Right.
Okay,
And
do you know
so-
Sharon or no?
Yeah, but I don't have her telephone
Okay.
number even on my other phone. But she can give that to you. She's got her telephone
Okay.
number.
Where does the sister live, do you know?
I think it's in Ohio,
Okay. So
but she's
up
down
there.
here in Pensacola visiting her daughter,
Okay, Sharon is.
Sharon.
Okay, perfect. All right.
So if you need now.
Yeah.
Now,
Does Skip have any other brothers or sisters alive?
no.
No, just Sharon.
Sharon, he had a brother I told you that was murdered
Right.
25 years ago. He had another brother that passed.
Okay.
Consider the sorrow of someone at the end of life, when most of your friends, your wife, your siblings have already gone. When you reach your 70s, you expect birthday cards, grandchildren's laughter, not a horrifyingly unbelievable death. For 79-year-old James Scandarito Sr., it was even worse, because the crime was committed by his own son.
They, you can start where you want, but they didn't get along that well.
Okay.
The mother who passed away a year ago wanted Jimmy and Skip, or James, whatever you want to call him, to get along.
Mm-hmm.
But they argued constantly. And what Kathy said to me when she called it, she says, it had to be about money.
Okay.
Okay, so that, and she knows where he goes to or something, and he got connections in Brazil.
Right. Now, you said Kathy will be back here in Florida tonight?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay, so we got with her then. We'll
Yeah.
reach out to her. Okay. Today is Thursday, April 5th at 1:45 p.m.
Yep.
So we last spoke at the residence at 412 Northwest 72nd Street, and James Sr., that's his residence, he goes by Skippy.
Yeah, but his number, was it 412 or 425?
412, his house number.
Okay.
And we spoke there, today is the 5th, myself and my partner spoke to you guys out there, I'm trying to get my days together because it's been a long one, on the 2nd. No, on the 3rd. Tuesday night, right. So that
Tuesday,
would have been the
late
3rd.
afternoon.
Yep, my partner and I
then
came
again
to your house.
In early
Yep, and we got a
evening.
sworn statement from you then.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be the same issue, I just
Sure.
wanna kinda talk to you about what's transpired since then. I'm
Okay.
gonna have the statement you gave up to that point, so I don't need to rehash all that.
All right,
So, can you just raise your right hand?
sure.
Everything you're about to tell me is gonna be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, when we were at the
Same
house,
here.
yeah, if you have any good information, please.
If I remember something
Yeah.
that he told me.
Yeah, and Bruce, your,
Brother,
brother, okay.
and he lives in Boca Raton.
At Port St.
Port
Lucie.
St.
Or Port St. Louis. Where did I get Boca Raton?
You are hooked on Boca too.
Yeah, you've
I
had a
mean,
lot
I'm
going
just-
on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as we were there at the house, how it kind of ended at the house is I was there with my partner, Detective Curtis. We got a sworn statement from you and James Jr.
Right,
at the house. We left the residence. We
right.
had to do some stuff across the street with a neighbor who gave us some information. We came back maybe an hour or so later.
No, you came back about 20 minutes later
20 minutes later.
to tell us that she wasn't home.
Right.
That you needed to get info from her,
Mm-hmm.
and et cetera. Then you came back maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, so an
Later.
hour.
Right,
That you
so a
actually
full
came in
hour.
and talked to us.
Right, we talked to you the second time. And at that point, we informed you that, based on the information we had, we were going to be executing a search warrant at the residence. We told you guys that you were going to have to vacate the residence.
Right.
You couldn't vacate the residence with any property, anything of that nature.
Right, and I
So-
agreed with you immediately,
Yep.
and Jimmy wanted to contest.
He wasn't happy.
No. Right.
And you made a comment to me, because we've talked since that time on the phone and in person, that you kind of said, to your opinion, it would have been your opinion, that if you weren't there, Jimmy wouldn't have let us look around the
No.
house, and he probably wouldn't have spoken with us.
I don't think he'd let you look around the house whenever you guys first talked and just looked.
Right.
I certainly don't think that he would have let you have taken his cell phone and
Computer. And,
computer until you got the search warrant.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that
Does
he
he-
would,
is that
and,
your-
and he mentioned,
Is that your gut feeling, or?
that's my gut feeling.
Okay, so he didn't say anything like
Well,
that? Or?
Yeah, I'll tell you a couple of things he said, but not until we were kind of in the car.
Okay.
Jimmy pushed back when detectives went into the house. Avoiding a house search typically means evidence inside the house, body or cleanup materials, or attempts to delay discovery until a trace elimination. Given what we now know about dismemberment and disposal, the house likely held the key to his secret. While this case shows just how unpredictable real life can get, sometimes it's nice to unwind somewhere a little more peaceful. And that's exactly what you get with today's sponsor, Heyday. Heyday is a free-to-play farming life simulator where you can build, grow, and design your own farm from the ground up. You can plant crops, bake goods, raise animals, and trade with neighbors, all at your own pace. The weather's always perfect, your crops never die, and every small task feels relaxing and rewarding. I've been playing it in between editing sessions, and it's honestly refreshing to feed virtual chickens instead of listening to real suspects try to feed detectives lies. Let's just say that the cows in Heyday cooperate a lot better than most of the people I've seen in the interrogation room. It's easy to pick up, satisfying to play, and a nice reminder that not everything has to be high stakes. You can download Heyday for free on iOS and Android using the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Click the link in my description below and start playing now.
So, and then just to clarify, so we're there. He kind of is, you know, a little bit upset with us.
Yeah,
Agrees to leave his stuff and leave.
yeah,
You and him get into his silver Prius together, and you guys leave.
right,
Okay. So at that point, now what you're telling me is what's transpired.
right.
When you
Okay,
guys
yeah,
left.
now, when we got ready to leave and we got in the car and et cetera, he said, I'm not comfortable with them having, my phone. Yeah, I didn't know, or you think I should have got an attorney? Remember, because he mentioned something about that?
Mm-hmm.
And, remember, I just went over and plugged my phone in.
Right,
and
and left
here
it, right.
And then he set his down next to mine.
Mm-hmm. Right. He set
You
it
know,
down.
But then, when we got in the car, he said, I tried to stick that in my pocket. I said, yeah, I saw
Right.
one of you take it. I don't know who grabbed it, you did.
Right. Yeah, he put it back down. We just said, hey,
Yeah,
you need
no.
to leave all your
Oh, yeah.
property, and he
But
put it
that's
down.
what I meant.
Right.
But I don't know which one of you said that.
Got you.
And so we got into the car, and Tim was with you still. Okay, the one that we was
The
on
partner.
vacation today.
Yep,
the
Tim
partner.
Curtis, right.
Okay, he said that he didn't like you,
Who didn't like me?
Jimmy.
Jimmy didn't
I
like me.
mean, not that term, like
Right.
but something along that term.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were. I wasn't in there when you were questioning him. I was out talking with his neighbor.
Okay.
Because I didn't think I'd heard. I'd talked 10 times to him about.
Of course.
That's probably helped him get his story down right away.
Gary's got a sharp eye. His instincts kick in almost instantly. Where others might have nodded along in light of a serious incident, he managed to catch the subtle mismatches. After all, it's always the smallest cracks that bring the whole wall down.
But he didn't. Something like he was awful pushy or something like that. That he didn't
Okay.
like things. So I figured that must have transpired when I wasn't in there and you guys, because you had taken over the investigation
Right.
because you were getting it all recorded.
Right.
And you let me go and do all my stuff first, then the doorbell rang, I went,
Right.
and I came back, and then when I came back and you said, do you mind if we take a look at the house? And before he answered, I said, well, sure. And then he goes, no, I'm not, remember?
Yeah.
I don't think he will let you do that. That was where I got that first.
So that's where you've got that feeling.
Yeah, I got that feeling right then and there.
Right. Had you not been there, he would have probably said, no, I don't want you taking a look.
But here's, then my brain cleared when it thought, I went, oh, he might be thinking that you're gonna find a pack of marijuana in there that Skip is smoke, because him and I both smoke.
Yep.
And not very often, like I told you,
Of
but
course.
when we get together,
Right.
we try to get back to our college days.
Of course, we all do. We all do.
You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty honest.
So that's what I thought he was nervous about.
Right,
But then
okay.
you left, if you remember, somebody brought dinner, so we had
Yep.
started dinner, you came back, we would just, and heated everything up, and then you went again
Yep.
and came back. Then you told us to leave. Well, when we left, I said to him, I said, there's this is a busy time. We may not be able to get a hotel room, or we may have to pay through the nose to get one. Let's stop and see if we can wait at Tommy's.
Yep.
And you went over there, Tom. That's Tom
Yep.
Morris, and that apartment. And Tommy obviously was there. He's in Michigan, but neither was the guy that next door neighbor that has the key.
Okay.
But we went up there, knocked, and did that thing. And so then we went over, and I wanted to go back to his place, which I've been to
Well,
before,
you say his place.
Jimmy's place
Okay.
in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
And he lives on the second or third floor of an
Yep,
apartment.
yep.
Have you guys been there?
Yep.
Okay.
Certainly have, yep.
All right. So he didn't want to, and that threw suspicion. I mean, what the hell does he want me to see his place? I've been there. Not a number of times, but I've been there
Right.
2-3 times.
Perfect.
I'm just giving Tom's phone number, Gary.
Yeah.
And also, I think that you were confusing about Kathy Letourneau coming tomorrow. Gary was letting you know that
No,
Todd
both of them-
Morris is
both of them
coming
are coming.
tonight at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, okay,
He's
I remember
coming
you saying
tonight.
that,
Yeah,
right,
and
okay.
she's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Right,
okay,
I just
tomorrow
wanted
morning,
to fix
okay.
that.
All right. So, he says, no, let's get a hotel. Well, okay. So we go over and get a hotel. We get to the hotel, and it's, I go to two of them. Both of the Marriotts that are over there, Town Suites and something else, and they're full. So we go over to, they said, we think that the Holiday Inn's got some openings. So we went to the Holiday Inn, which is just kitty corner across from there, and I did, and they did. And I paid for it, and he went, geez, I must have left my ATM, my credit card in the ATM machine. Not like there was a panic to it, just like
Right,
he
right.
didn't want to maybe,
Put the money.
yeah, just because maybe, you know, now in retrospect, not now that I'm thinking that at that
Right.
time, but I'm thinking, he didn't want to throw $100 down there, and he needed that for money if he's going to run.
Right.
Gary conducts another dot. Jimmy's spending habits, or actually lack of them, tell the real story. You don't plan a getaway and still pay the bills. Gary is basically reading Jimmy like an open notebook.
It looks like he's in bed. I'm half asleep
Right,
in
right.
one of these. And so in the morning I get up, which I normally do somewhere between 6 and 7. I get up at 6:30, but I wake up probably at 6. I kind of lay there because I don't want, I think, you know, he
Yeah,
hasn't been
disturb him.
sleeping well. I don't want to, I would lay you so he gets
Yep.
some sleep. So then I I get up, go to the bathroom, and I see that that's a sham, that there's just pillows there and making it look like somebody's there.
So there's pillows with the
with,
covers pulled up.
Yeah, covers pulled over, 3 pillows. There's 4 pillows. 3 pillows and then one at an angle like that.
Right.
With covers over it, so it looks like,
So a body's laying there and the head.
yeah,
With
it
the
looks
cover.
like, you know,
Okay.
especially in the dark, if I look
Right.
over in the dark, because they're white. White
Right.
pillows, white covers.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I can see an outline.
Yep.
So I think, what the hell? So I get up and I go down and get a cup of coffee, go out and his car's gone. And then I think, well, maybe he let me sleep in and he's going over to feed the cats because it's 6:30. You let the cats out and feed the cats and it's 6:30.
Gotcha. Okay.
I thought, well, I'm going to give him the better. I'm going to think better of this. And I'm going
Maybe
to
a
wait.
note or anything like that.
No, nothing. I said, I'm going to wait till 8 o'clock. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, get to USA Today, do a Sudoku, drink a cup of coffee, and about 7:45, I'm saying, no, the hell with it. And I go down and I order a cab, but it takes a cab 20 minutes. So I get there. I get about 10 after 8, I get over to the house. And you've got the young black lady that is yeah, she's in uniform,
Okay.
but in an unmarked car.
Yep.
And she goes, who that? I mean, I got there with the cab. I got, who are you? And I'm Gary. Well, who's Gary Good? And I
Yep,
said, well,
yep.
and so she calls the sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
She can't get a hold of the sergeant right away. So I just said, look, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go get Ernie that you met. And I'm going to bring him back over here and I'm going to have him give you the cell phone because I don't have a cell phone.
Right, right.
I can't take the car. I can't
Gotcha.
take the phone up. So I'm just going over there and have a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And then within 15 minutes, you and your partner,
Yep.
your other partner, the taller guy,
Yep.
came. And then I went through everything kind of
Right.
like I'm going
It's
through
kind of
now.
like
And
we're
you
doing
said,
now.
we'll get back and do that here like we're
Yeah.
doing it now
Okay.
after you find out more. And
Right.
then I said to you, after we were explaining things, and I said to you, you said, well, something like, what I said checked out, but everything he said was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You said something along that
Yeah.
line, or
And
made
then
me,
we kind of talked about a little bit.
might have made me think that.
Well, long story short, Jimmy was lying. But at this point in the investigation, it's all smoke and speculation. Skip's body hasn't turned up, meaning anyone could still be a suspect. So they decide to question Betty, the woman Skip planned to see, but never did.
The reason we do that is because this room is recording, okay? I know you had questions out there about us taking a statement from you. This is going to be obviously recorded for a couple reasons. It makes it easier for me. I don't have to take a ton of notes. And then we can kind of give you an idea of what's going on. I spoke to you briefly on the phone when the investigation first started. I'm sorry. But I didn't get too much information from you as
Well,
far as your...
basically what I gave was what happened with me.
Okay. Well, let me just get some basic information from you first, and then we'll
Okay.
just kind of walk through that part of the conversation, okay? How do I spell your first name exactly?
Betty.
2 Y's, or 2 T's. And your last name's Butcher?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your address, ma'am? Okay. If you remember, when I reached out to you on Easter Sunday, it was in reference to a friend of yours, Skip Scandarito, James Scandarito Sr., who was missing at that time. And from what I remember, and you're going to have to jog my memory, you guys had made plans to attend a tennis tournament.
Right.
Let's kind of bring your memory back to that time when I had that first conversation with you, and just kind of walk me through, you know, what the plans were to go to the tennis tournament and when you had last contact with, I guess, Skip, we'll call him, Mr. Scandarito.
Actually, let me see, I'll go right from, I think the first call that I had was on Wednesday.
Okay.
And he had told me that he had been up to Crystal to play golf, and I believe his son was with him. And he had said that he would pick me up the next morning. And we were going to watch the tennis tournament down in Miami, the Miami Open.
Right. Key Biscayne.
Right.
Beautiful location.
So it ended up where I had gone golfing myself and out for dinner, and when I came home, there was a message that he had called. So I called him and returned the call, and he said that he would pick me up.
You know what time that was?
I was about 8:30 I spoke to him
On Wednesday night?
on Wednesday night.
It was text or voice conversation?
Voice.
Okay.
Yeah, he was watching television with his son, he said, and that they were watching a movie that was very funny, and they were laughing. And he said, I've got my water and a map and all this sort of stuff kidding around about getting there. And I said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. So at 10 minutes to 7, I looked at my cell phone and noticed that a text was there. Now when that text was put in there, I don't know, but I do know at 10 minutes to 7 is when I opened it up.
Okay.
And it said that he was very sorry that he was not going to be showing up, that it was his wife's birthday, and that he was spending it with his son, and that he would make it up for, being, because this was the second time it got canceled out. He had friends that Gary may have spoke to.
Right.
All of this gang was down there, and they were all big celebrating, but that was the last time I received anything from him.
Okay.
At 10 minutes to 7.
And that was via text? What he had canceled to go to the tournament?
That
to
was
pick
on
you
the
up?
cell phone, my cell phone.
Okay. Were you going to pick him up, or was he going to pick you up? Do
He
you
was
remember?
going to pick me
He
up.
was going to drive to your house roughly 7 a.m.?
hmm
Okay, to head down, obviously, to beat the traffic into Miami on a weekday.
Right.
Smart move. And then he sent you a text saying that he was not going to be able to make it because he was going to celebrate his deceased wife's birthday, I guess,
No, just to be with him.
with his son.
Mhm.
Okay.
From Betty's account, the two possibilities emerge. On one hand, Skip and Jimmy might have simply been enjoying some father-son time. On the other, their time together could have taken a darker turn. What's certain, though, is that Jimmy was the last person to see his father alive. This video shows a desperate escape attempt by a criminal who had successfully concealed a weapon, which he then turns on police while still under arrest. You can watch it right now, plus many more Patreon exclusive videos for as little as $2 a month at patreon.com/strangerstoriesplus.
Is that a normal text exchange between you two?
No.
Like the messages that came from him, would that be the normal, I guess, I know it's hard to say attitude or verbiage on the text, or is it more of a banter?
Yeah, this is more like a band. This
Like
wasn't something that he would, like, he wouldn't have told me that he got Viagra from Jimmy.
right,
He would tell me in person.
right.
He would tell me after the fact that he needed Viagra.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, Jimmy had some Viagra, but
Right.
boy, I needed it, or
Okay.
something like that.
Right.
He wouldn't go and say, before I got some Viagra from Jimmy, because this is Friday.
Right.
As opposed to Jimmy, he spent the night with her Thursday. Why is he
Right.
telling me he got some Viagra? Why wouldn't he say to me, boy, last night luckily I got some Viagra. That would be how he'd say it. He would
Right.
just say, oh, I got some Viagra. Well, why didn't you tell me you used it on? Because we're guys 75 years
Right,
old. We're
right.
not going to go out banging gals 3 nights in a row.
Right, right.
I don't care if you brought in Marilyn Monroe's reincarnation. I could look.
Right. Gotcha, understood.
You know,
So-
and he's the same way, you know, I
Right,
mean,
right.
but we like ladies,
Right, right.
but we're not, you know.
So you mentioned even the same thing, the whole 62, just to say 62 and that's it?
Yeah,
is-
you know, not like going, and how would he know he's 62? I just thought he'd say, it looks like she's in her late 50s, early 60s. That's what he would have said.
Right,
He wouldn't have said to me, oh, she's 62.
right.
Because whenever I talked to Betty apparently is 74. I had to get that out of him 3 times. He said, she's roughly our age.
Right.
Well, I said, what do you hell do you mean roughly?
Right.
That's how we talk. We
Right,
don't-
it's vague and you're not direct and to the point.
No.
Did you find the message about him calling you or messaging you about when you were going to be back on Saturday? Was that something he normally
No.
would have done, or
No,
could
but
he care less? He would have just waited for you to call and...
No, he might have, yeah, he would have said, one or the other of us would have texted or talked to the other one about what time.
Right, okay.
And it would have happened on Friday.
Right.
It wouldn't have happened on Thursday.
Okay.
Because we would know on Friday, now what time am I leaving?
Right, okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And so when he said that wasn't unusual.
There's another layer here. The messages didn't sound like Skip at all. It was a clue that Jimmy had been using his father's phone to keep up the act. And that wasn't the only red flag. More would surface in his next conversation with his cousin Ellen, the one detectives were about to speak to.
Started. We're video recording in here, just so you understand. We're taking a video recorded statement for him. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to just do
Good to see you.
just a brief introduction so that when people view this, they know, what time it's happening and who's in the room and whatnot.
Right.
So today's date's April 20th. It's about 2 p.m. We're obviously at the Boca Raton Police Department. Detective Scott Hanley's to my right, and Ellen Scandarito will be providing a statement to us today in reference to case number 18-4573. Before we even get to all that stuff,
Okay.
let's
I
just
have my
identify
notes.
who you are.
Okay, yes, sorry. I'm Ellen Scandarito,
And your last name's spelled as we already know, but go ahead and spell it for me.
Scandirit.
Obviously, we're here to talk to you about the death of your uncle,
Yes,
Skip. And I understand you have some information that might be relevant to our investigation.
I do, and I have some notes for my statement just to make sure I tell you everything. And
Yeah.
is it okay that I have my notes in front of
Absolutely,
me?
yeah, whatever makes it
So-
easy for you.
Why don't we do this to start, where we met with you yesterday
Yep.
out at your uncle's house with your family.
Yes.
Kind of take us to the beginning of how you became involved in this. I think that
Yeah.
kind of like she said the other day, and then you can kind of incorporate your
Yeah.
notes and things you have.
As far as my cousin
Yeah,
is
yeah.
concerned? Okay, yes. So,
And just so and I'm just going to catch you up. So your cousin is Jimmy,
he is.
Skip's son,
Yes, he is.
and you were telling us at the table that prior to the recent conversation, you hadn't spoken to him in
Actually 15 plus years.
15 plus years.
Yes.
So
Since right after the death of my father.
the recent conversation when he reached out to you or you guys communicated, that was the first communication you guys have had in 15 years?
Yes.
Okay. And just to set, like we said, your dad unfortunately was killed 19 years ago during
In
a robbery.
1999, yes.
1999 during a robbery.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so take that from there then. So
Okay, so my first interactions
With
with him
recently.
regarding
Yep,
this,
right.
okay. So the Coast Guard had phoned my mom on Easter Sunday, April Fool's Day, to tell us that Skip was missing and to ask if we knew him, because we're the only ones that have the name anymore. So a couple days passed, and my Aunt Sharon talked to Jim, and I wasn't getting the information that I wanted about my uncle, so I decided I was just gonna
Yep.
message him on Facebook, because I needed to know what happened to my uncle, because it was just sounding fishy. And so I can provide you all the text messages, by the way. I have them on my phone. So I just started to message him on Facebook. Jimmy, my cousin Jimmy.
What was
And-
his Facebook under?
Jim Scandarito.
Okay, Jim Scandarito.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can screenshot everything
Yep.
for you. I just said, hi, I've heard about what's going on with your dad. How are you? Is everything okay? That was the initial message. I said, I really love you guys, and can you please give us an update?
Mhm.
And he wrote back and just said, hi, thanks for reaching out, and that was it,
How long did it take him to write back?
immediately.
Oh, okay.
From the moment I sent the message, I could see he read it right away, and he was typing right after. And then his message wasn't sufficient. I was like, no.
When was that roughly?
Can I get out my phone?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I can give you the
If it
exact.
helps you to have your notes out to jog your memory about other
Yeah.
details chronologically, feel free to grab those too.
Yes. Okay. So this was
So you reached out to him because you were obviously concerned about Skip.
about my uncle.
Okay.
Yeah. April 3rd, 8:40 a.m. was my first contact.
I'm sorry, what time?
April 3rd, 8:40 a.m.
I'll get the camera.
Well, we can get Jamie. She's
Or crime scene.
yeah.
screenshot.
Jamie was kind of standing by. I don't know if
Oh,
she still
okay,
is.
okay.
And he just said, thanks so much, Ellie. Love to you, too.
Okay.
And then I just thought, my God, I need to know more information.
Do you mind if I just scroll
Yes,
through that just to
please.
get a general idea?
Please read
okay.
it.
And we'll take photos of this. but-
Yes, please.
And this was the only conversation. You didn't have a telephone conversation with him? or
I
anything?
did.
You did? Okay.
I did. You'll see below after you read that.
Oh, okay.
And within less than an hour, he phoned me.
Okay, so he sent you that, so...
You can click there and see the time.
Don't you like drag it or something?
My phone is such a POS, sorry. You can just do...
Oh.
Oops, sorry. Let me go back. This was... Let's see. Okay, so this was April 3rd, 3:05 p.m. He told me, and I said, I will wait for you to call Jim. And as I will show you the phone record, I believe he called me at 3
minutes later?
No, it was about 40 minutes later he
Wow.
called me. He said he had just woken up from a nap. He had just gotten off work.
Okay.
And he came home for a power nap. I'm going to show you that record here. Before getting ready to pass out flyers. 3:25 he called me, April 3rd.
Something was off from the start. The pieces just didn't align. And even before the full picture came together, Jimmy's behavior raised eyebrows. They didn't know his secret yet, but they could feel it in the way he spoke.
3:25 in the afternoon, we spoke for 8 minutes and 52 seconds.
Okay. And what was that conversation? Voice conversation?
He said that the message that you just read,
Mm-hmm.
he said, and he kept saying my name, which was weird. I haven't seen him in a long time. He's like, Ellie, your message was very touching. I had to make sure that I got back to you because, like I said, I was really touched by what you had said, and I know that you loved, past tense, my mom, and I know that you loved, past tense, my dad. And he said, and I just kept saying, I cannot imagine how you're feeling. I cannot imagine what you're going through. I'm so sorry. And he said, no, actually you can imagine. Because he said, you've been through this with your dad, and now we can finally understand each other. And he said, you can imagine.
Does he give you the backstory of the whole thing?
Yes, so he went in, he told me the whole story. He told me that that him and his dad were supposed to meet that evening, that Saturday night at 6 p.m. with Gary Gooden to watch the game, and his dad never showed up, but his dad told him that they would go on a kayaking trip. He was going on a kayaking trip with a woman who he wouldn't give the name. He kept saying the woman was single and didn't have kids, and that this woman had not turned up, and maybe it would take a week for her to be identified, he said. And he said that Skip was supposed to meet Gary and him and some other person back at the house at 6 p.m. for the game, and he never showed up. And he told me that they were there, and they waited and waited. Skip didn't show, and he ended up falling asleep overnight. I can't remember where he said at what point. He called hospitals to find out if they had heard from Skip. He said next morning came, and I can't remember if he said he called you guys or the Coast Guard, but he said he called somebody. the following morning.
Anything about his phone? Was it going to voicemail? Was it going? Does he mention anything? If he's trying to call?
Yes,
text
I'm
him,
trying to
anything?
call. Phone was going. He couldn't get a hold of him. That's all he was saying. Yes, tried to call. He said he reached out to you guys or the Coast Guard. I'm not sure, one or the other. The next morning, which would have been Sunday.
Did you try and call Skip's phone at all, or your family?
Yes.
Jimmy really thought he planned the perfect murder, but the only thing perfect about it was how blatantly obvious the errors were.
Jimmy comes usually Wednesday nights.
Yes, but he doesn't stay.
Doesn't typically stay at all.
No, he leaves right after
Right.
9 o'clock,
So-
or 9:15.
Would it be normal for him to go home all the way down to Fort Lauderdale and then make arrangements with Skip to come back and take care of his cats just for the night when Ernie, who always takes care of the cats, lives across the street?
No, what happened was he said that he went home, he got Viagra that he gave to his dad.
Okay.
All right, that's his story. He had to do some stuff. He ran home,
Right.
and so when he came back, he gave the Viagra to his dad. And so then, because his dad wanted him, he was going to go out with
The girl.
the girl, that he wanted him to make sure the cats got fed. And he said, "Yeah, I'll do that, Dad," but he didn't get back, and so Ernie did it. But then when he did get back, supposedly he spent the night, and so his dad wasn't there. His dad spent the night with the gal.
Mhm.
Now this is how the story's going.
Right.
So I said, well, and he says, Friday morning, I'm trying to think if he fed the cats. He fed the cats. His dad came home and said he wanted Jimmy to get some stuff out because he was going to start parking a car in the garage. And so he wanted Jimmy, and Jimmy says, well, can I borrow your car and you take mine? Okay. And so he's going, so his dad's there. He's going at 3 o'clock, let's see, between 2 and 3, he said his dad, he came back and him and his dad exchanged cars.
What do you make of that part?
Well, Skip has lived there 18 years and he's never once told me he wanted to park a car in the garage. And they always had two.
Okay. And how about the interior of the garage?
Interior of the garage didn't look like it changed at all. That's why I'm saying that
Right, but and how long does it look like that?
18 years.
Okay. So it wasn't at any point that within the last year or 2 years or whatever,
never had
that
room.
garage became messy.
He never had room to put, from the time they moved down here, from the day that they moved in, they never had room to get, there was no way you'd ever get a car in there.
Right. Got ya. Okay. So.
So that's the strange thing right there,
Right.
is Skip wouldn't ask it.
So you didn't see really, since you were gone, and we were sitting there when Junior told us that he had moved some stuff in the garage.
And took clothes out of the closet in the other, not the guest room I'm staying in, but the other guest room.
Right.
I don't know if there was clothes in there or not,
Okay.
because
But
I don't
to your
stay in that
knowledge, it
room.
didn't look like anything was moved around the garage at all.
it didn't look to me either.
Right.
And
Other than that.
no, we opened the garage to come into the garage on Saturday or Sunday, you know, so that I come in and the garage was the same from coming in. I went in through the door on Saturday, but on Sunday we opened the garage and came in. I can't remember where we went.
Right.
Oh, we went down to, when we came back from the truck.
Yep.
Finding the, you know, the police finding the truck. And we came back, we had locked the door. And we got out, he has keys, but they were in the car. And so he knew the number to the,
Code.
he opened the code and that thing, same thing. refrigerator, alley, but now there's that kayak, the 3 or 4 things down the middle, then all of the stuff packed in the far corner
Right.
to the front, all the way back, halfway to the
Washer
washer and dryer. That's exactly.
Do you have any
how it's always
conversation
been.
with him about that kayak on the ground, or
No.
nothing?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you
I
guys
don't
talk
know.
about it.
I don't know why it's there. I have no
Right.
idea.
Okay, so you guys don't really discuss.
No, we
the
don't
kayak.
discuss that. We don't
Okay.
discuss the kayak.
Okay.
We go in, and I'm kind of glad we found the car.
One by one, people began noticing the inconsistencies. The mask was slipping, and Jimmy's lies were catching up with him.
My
On
aunt
the
did
voicemail, was it ringing? Do you know?
voicemail,
It was going directly to voicemail.
go directly to voicemail.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
And he said that, right, kayak trip, woman, 6 p.m. meeting, and then he said that at first I thought he drowned, he told me. He said, but now it's not looking that way. He said because I told him, I spoke to the Coast Guard, because I was getting real upset. So I was calling you 10 times. I was getting really upset. So I called the Coast Guard myself, and they told me, and I told him what they told me. I said, Jim, they told me they did an underwater search. They scoped the whole area. Like, he's like, yes, they've searched all the intercoastal waterways. There's no sign of a kayak. There's no sign of my dad. He was calm. He didn't, it did strike me. I was like, God, he didn't seem upset. And I remember thinking that after I got off the phone. He didn't seem upset. Like, I remember when my dad was missing and I was a wreck. Like, I couldn't even talk. And I remember that in my mind. I thought, oh my God.
She's describing the reaction that anyone would expect: shock, disbelief, confusion. But what puzzled everyone was Jimmy's calmness. He also kept using past tense to refer to his father, and of course, he knew exactly what he had done to him.
and how long would you say you've known Skip for, roughly, just so I have a general idea?
Oh, I've known him, but, he was married, so
Okay.
I would say, my son would probably nudge me not to say anything.
Just, I mean, it doesn't have to be
I mean,
exact
really,
figure.
what is the reason for that
Well,
question?
you know, I'm not sure how much you know about our investigation. Have you been reading the papers? Do you know what the status is of our investigation?
I don't know anything I know that his body was found,
Okay.
and I know that it was cut up or something rather, is what
Okay.
everybody's and I actually am getting my information, because it was too upsetting for me.
Okay.
That's very upsetting to
Did
somebody
you
that you know, and I thought he was a very nice man.
did you know that his son was arrested,
Yes.
Jimmy? Okay. Do you know his son? Have you had contact with him?
I have never met any of his family.
The body parts were found in bags at an abandoned golf course. Because substantial portions of Skip's body, like his head and arms, were missing, which meant medical examiners could not determine the exact cause of death. So all of this raises one crucial question: what happened to Skip, and why?
What is the relationship? Because
The
it looks like we were
relationship
sitting
was
there.
very tense.
He doesn't call him Dad.
He always
calls
calls
him
him
Skip.
Skip only.
So is that just? It's been that
Ever
way?
since he's been a kid.
Mhm.
I think
And he's his biological father.
yes,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and he knocked up Terry,
Okay.
and they got married. All right, he was through law school. All right, and I think that Jimmy has always called him Skip, not Dad. And I think that he just never, for whatever reason, never cared for his dad. And he was the only child. He was spoiled rotten. He had a great life, kid's life. His parents, his dad's a lawyer and a judge and made a 6-figure income his whole
Right.
life. So they lived in a nice house in a nice neighborhood, and Skip knew everybody, and everybody knew Skip.
Gotcha.
okay? And so the kid was, you know, everybody knew Skip, they took care of the kid. They looked the other way when he screwed up and that kind of thing, you know, the police bring him home instead of putting his ass in a jail somewhere. And he went on to get a law degree, then couldn't pass the bar.
Okay.
Okay, so he was always been a disappointment to both his parents. But he would, you know, moms are moms.
Right,
You know,
right.
they protect him, try to, you know.
Sure.
And Skip was a little harder with him, and if we were sitting here right now and Skip and Jimmy were here, and we were setting up and that thing there, and Skip said, well, it's daytime, Jimmy would say, nah, it's night. And they'd argue about it.
Okay.
That's what's there.
So you said it was pretty tense, but you use the word tense between them.
Yeah, it is. It's always, I mean, they're on the golf course or anything else, you know, like, oh, you moved that putt, you moved it, you know, things that you wouldn't do with him and Skip would do that wouldn't happen with us.
Right. With you and Skip.
Me and Skip, or me and Tommy, or Skip and Tommy, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Skippy can be, he sees the funny side of things, so he can make a joke that irritates you,
Right.
you know? But Jimmy and him were just oil and water,
Okay.
all right? And he was trying real hard since his wife died because he promised.
Right.
And so that's why Wednesdays and Sundays, Jimmy's a good golfer.
Yeah.
They go play golf together.
Okay.
You know, usually with,
Somebody else.
yeah, but I mean, they've got like 6 or 8 rotating guys that
Got
they
you.
play with mostly.
Okay.
And Tommy and I always when we're down here.
Okay.
And Jimmy's always included.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's included if we go to, if we were to go to the Duck, and we don't do that, but if
Right.
we were to go to the Duck and watch a ball game,
Right.
Jimmy would be invited.
Gotcha.
Detectives turned to Betty and Ellen with the same question that they'd asked Gary. What kind of relationship did Skip and Jimmy share? Quick heads up, there's a full collection of true crime-inspired merch available now at strangerlabel.com. You'll find premium t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, and more, each piece designed with bold detail and a dark, investigative edge. Head over to strangerlabel.com and check out the full lineup. Now let's get back to the case.
You never met his son Jimmy then?
No, I don't know any of the family or friends.
Did Skip ever talk to you about his relationship with his son at all? Did he ever come up in conversation?
It was, you know, they were going golfing or, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, there was really, I don't know what their relationship was with each other.
Okay.
Although I do know that they spent a lot of time with each other. Seemed like he was with Jimmy a lot.
Okay.
You know, he'd come over to his house or, you know, little things like that.
Right. But the actual voice conversation you had with Skip on that Wednesday evening, it's not that he canceled the tennis tournament at that time. He was actually informing you that, hey, I've got the water,
Right, he's got the
we're ready
maps
to
and all
go.
that. Right.
He had everything kind of set up
Yeah.
to go at 8:30, and then the next thing you know, you get a text the following morning and he
Right.
can't make it.
So you guys didn't communicate at all, or?
Our families were,
Well, just you and him.
oh, you and him, me and him? No, there was some divisions in our families, Skip and my dad, and my uncle was very, just in a different class, I guess, social class than the rest of us.
Got you.
And he kind of socialized with his lawyer friends, and
Got you.
his friends were kind of his life, and I think Jimmy was socialized that way too. So
Right.
as a child, I would see him Christmases, because they lived up there.
Right. Okay.
So, and he was also almost 15 years, I'm 35, older than me. So,
Right. Okay.
so yeah, we just were never close,
Got you. Okay.
but saw him over the years. So yeah, but he did say, I love you guys very much, and I will update you tomorrow. And I said, yeah, please, you can call me, you know,
Right.
I'm here. So, and then from there, and I'll show you the record, phoned him, phone was off.
I wanted to go back. You said, and you caught yourself when you said my dad, and you said Skip. What's that he calls him Skip and not Dad, or did he call the mom by her first name, or did he call her Mom, or?
He interchanged it with Terry. He would say Mom, but he would refer to her as Terry. But Uncle Skip, yes, he only called him Skip as far as I remember. And
Why is that?
They had a volatile relationship, and I've seen this in the times that I was together with them from childhood. Skip was known to, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, he antagonized everyone. He just was like, kind of got a rise out of poking fun at people. Everyone, all of us. He had some kind of nickname for us.
Okay.
But Jim in particular, it was clear that Jimmy never lived up to Skip's expectations. Skip wanted Jimmy to be a lawyer and to succeed in law, and Jim went to law school. It's not clear to us if he ever actually graduated. He states that he did. We knew they took the bar several times, and he never passed the bar several times. And so Skip would pick on him for that, and it bothered Jimmy.
Okay. Were you around when all the issues with Skip happened in Michigan?
Yes, that was the same time that my father had been murdered. Yes, very intense time. And they left the state then.
It wasn't hidden that Skip and Jimmy had issues, but behind that surface volatility lay the bigger question: why? And the investigation was on the verge of unmasking it.
Or Duffy's or something like that.
Do you ever see him, how long you been here, a month or so, you said?
I was here a total of 3 weeks. 2 weeks
Yeah.
to the, exactly 2 weeks before I left on Tuesday.
Okay.
5 days gone, and then I stayed another
Gotcha.
week.
Okay. Did you see him get into it while
No.
you were here at all?
No, I've never seen them get into it. They were always just bickering.
Bickering, okay.
It's
Do
bickering.
you-
It's not pushing and shoving or taking a swing at each
Does-
other or getting mad and
Does Skippy
just
mention
they get
anything?
mad, but they don't get physically mad.
Does Skippy mention anything to you about anything about Jimmy recently? Issues, problems,
I
disappointments?
think if you talk to Kathy, I think he had financial.
Who did?
Jimmy.
Jimmy was having financial issues?
I think. I'm not sure that because
Okay.
nobody told me that. That's
Is-
not something I can say to you out of
Right.
knowledge.
Has Jimmy mentioned that to you at all?
No, but Kathy has.
Kathy has.
Kathy said
She
when
said that to you today.
After this?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, she
subsequent
said-
to this, okay.
Yeah, but
Because
she
you
said-
had mentioned that.
She said she quit playing golf with him because they're at each other's throat all the time, as she said it.
Okay. What would that have been over, did she say, or?
She said a lot of it's financial. So I'm pretty sure that he's trying to hit his dad up for, Jimmy's one of those, I'm gonna hit the home run. He's always got some scheme coming, he wants to be, open something on the internet or do something. Or,
So we went through the file cabinet yesterday, and I found this
Now, which file cabinet was this?
in the garage.
Okay.
It's labeled Jim's debt. Skip never referred to himself as
Actually,
Jim.
bring Jamie back in, or,
Go get it.
yeah.
Or make copies of them on the machine.
This is very clear to me that this is Jimmy.
Okay.
Skip would never refer to himself as Jim. No one called him
Okay.
Jim. Skip called him Jim or
Gotcha.
Jimmy.
Okay.
So I opened it up, and let's see. This was on top.
Yeah, we're gonna wanna make, actually, we're gonna wanna,
You can take the whole file.
we can make you copies.
You can take the whole file. We'll trust you to take it. But found that, and there's several documents in here you'll probably want to see. This is some examples, on paper. What we're
2%, that's a good loan right there, 2% a year.
The undersigned James A. Scandarito II, hereby acknowledges a debt to a promised by my father, James A. Scandarito, of $10,000 at an interest rate of 2%, and until paid in full, said sum is due and payable for the consideration of obligation and to the payment of PNC Bank and Bank of America by James A. Scandarito. Okay, so that's January 10th, 2011, okay?
Yeah, a couple years ago, but I guess it just shows you some examples of him bailing him out.
Right.
This is just a letter, like a settlement letter. Accept $7,500 as a settlement. Then it shows a receipt of an account number deposit, which I'm assuming Skip bailed this one out too.
Back in 2010.
Oh, okay. And there's several like this. Like I
Right.
said, I can give you the whole file.
Right, okay.
Let's just go through it real quick so we have a
Okay.
general idea what we're looking at.
Sure.
And then we'll give you a
And
receipt.
then this is a bank statement of Jimmy, I believe. Maybe it shows, I don't think it shows as much, but
Well, it shows a payment of $7,500, which is what this,
got it, okay,
which is what this is.
okay, good,
And then the rest and remaining balance is obviously the interest owed.
got it, okay. And then, oh, here it is, we've received your payment of $7,500. This is another one, your capital one is severely delinquent. Please pay the balance. You know, why his father would have these documents, I don't know. Here's a voided check of $2,200 from my uncle and aunt's account, dated, I got in 10.
Yeah, so something was going on back in these are all late
Yeah, 11,
2010.
10 and 11.
Yeah, early 2000, late 2010,
Right,
early
right.
2011.
I don't know if it's relevant, but you're welcome to take all this if you need it, so.
Let me just, do you know what your uncle's handwriting looks like?
Yes, I do.
Is that consistent with what you believe to be your uncle's handwriting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because this we absolutely do need.
Yep.
Yeah, he owed, okay, this is interesting. He owed $70,000 on a business that failed.
Oh, that'll be helpful to you.
Is there anything that maybe you think might be relevant to this investigation, knowing what you know, involving his son? That may have come up in conversation, or something that might have seemed a little bizarre, or
I
something that stands out?
just can't imagine a son doing that to his father,
Right.
or to anyone, as a matter of fact. And it's just sort of left my stomach a mess since I heard about it all. And I've been trying to get myself back together, and my friends and everybody have read all of this, so I keep being reminded of it.
Okay.
I really, I didn't know any of his family, and he did discuss his family occasionally, but I don't know. There was so much more that came into it that it's, I don't know. I don't want to get any more into it. I don't want to confuse anybody or.
Okay. No, well, I thank you for coming in today. I know it's probably not the easiest conversation to have.
Right, and it's, I don't know, all the stuff that you read from Detroit area and all of that sort of stuff, and I'm assuming that everything was straight with what was said to me from him, but
Right.
so.
Okay.
But may I ask, what actually has killed him?
Well, it's still an open investigation. Even though there's been an arrest made in the case, there's only so much information we're actually allowed to release to people that may have contact with Skip or know him. And I unfortunately can't answer that question right now.
He was a big man and larger than his son. And I don't know. Everybody's always trying to figure out what is actually the thing that has killed him. He had 3 cats in the house. I don't know what could have done from the time, other than the conversation that we had on the phone about the maps and all this sort of maps and, maybe.
Jimmy Scandarito Jr. was charged with first-degree murder in April 2018. At trial, Jimmy admitted to dismembering his father's body, but asserted his father died of natural causes, possibly as a result of drug activity, and he panicked afterward. In March 2019, a jury acquitted Jimmy of first-degree murder, but convicted him of abusing his father's body. By June, he drew the maximum penalty, which is 15 years. Thank you for watching. Check out my Patreon link in the description below and drop a like on this video. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm always curious to read what you thought of the case.